Okay, so we've got finding the surface area of this cone. Surface area of a cone formula is pi times the radius times the slant height plus pi times the radius squared. That's the area of the base, which is a circle. So we're going to find the area of this. If you're not for sure, like, wait, is that right? Yeah, remember? Go back in our notes here. Cone, pi RL plus pi R squared. So let's go ahead and try this here. Pi times the radius. Radius is 9. Slant height is this line right here. It's the height, but the slant height, right? 15 plus pi times the radius. Radius is from the center to the edge of that base, 9 squared. So this is 81 pi. 9 times 15. I'm going to grab my calculator for that. 9 times 15 is 135. So this is 135 pi plus 81 pi. 135 plus 81 is 216. 216 times pi, I get 678.58, which would be 678.6. This would be centimeters squared. So 678.6 centimeters squared is the surface area of that cone. All right, now let's take a look at the surface area of this pyramid. If you can go back in your notes, you can look at notice it's right here, 1/2. The capital P represents the perimeter of the base times the slant height. Plus, and this capital B represents the area of the base. So let's take a look at this thing. So the formula for this, surface area equals 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height plus area of the base. Okay, so that's what we need to figure out are these two things. Okay, let me go ahead and give you some measurements here. So first of all, we're going to figure out this perimeter of this base. So notice this triangle right here, and I'm just going to give this to you. If this angle here is 45 degrees, that means this angle here would also be 45 degrees because 45 plus 90 makes 180 degrees. That means that this side here, that's 8, would be the same measurement as this side here. So this right here would also be 8 feet. So from the center to the edge is 8. That means all the way across here would be 16 feet, right? If half of it's 8, the whole thing is 16. So the perimeter of this base would be 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, which is 64. So the perimeter, 64. Slant height is the number that's given right here, 11.3, right? So here, let me write this down here. 1/2 times the perimeter of the base, 64, times the slant height, 11.3, plus, now the area of the base itself is this square, 16 by 16. So this would be 16 by 16. All right, so let's work this out on our calculator. So I'm going to clear this out. And the way I'm going to do this, I want to do this part and then add this part to it. So you can put some parentheses in there to make sure your calculator does it right. So 0.5 times 64 times 11.3, close that parenthesis up, plus parenthesis, and then we'll do 16 times 16, close that parenthesis up, hit enter. There you go. All right, so let me minimize my calculator here. And just slide that down just a little bit more. So you can see right here, 0.5, 64, 11 point, right? There's that. Plus the 16 times 16, I get 617.6 is my answer. So 617.6. This is in feet, so it'd be feet squared. There is the surface area of that pyramid. Okay, two more questions. This one we need to find the surface area. The base in this case is a pentagon. So you may remember to find the area of a pentagon. So the pentagon base is 1/2 times the perimeter times the apothem. Apothem is right there, 6. Okay. Perimeter, 8.7 one side. There's 5 of them. So let me get my calculator here. 8.7 times 5 times 5, 43.5. Okay, so the formula for the surface area of a pyramid, surface area equals 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height plus the area of the base. The area of the base is a pentagon, so that's what we're doing right there. So 1/2 times the perimeter of the base, which we just figured out is 43.5, times the apothem, which is 6. So that is the area of the base. Okay. Now we're going to do this thing right here, 1/2 perimeter of the base, which we actually found right with this part of it, 43.5. Slant height is right there, 15. So this is what we're going to be working out here on the calculator. This, right, plus this. Let's clear this out. So we've got parenthesis, 1/2 times 43.5 times 15. Close that parenthesis up, plus, parenthesis again, 1/2 times 43.5 times 6. Close that parenthesis up, enter. And so there we have the answer to this one. Let me just slide it down a little bit. Actually, let me just slide this down a little bit. And then I can slide this down a little bit so we can see the whole thing. All right, so notice this part right here. This part right here. So here's my answer, 456.75. This 5 tells me the 7 needs to round up to 456.8. 456.8. This was all in inches, so the inches squared would be the surface area of this pentagonal pyramid. Last question. Okay, we've got 4 inches going right across here. We've got 5.7 inches as the slant height. So the surface area of a cone is pi r L plus pi r squared. So pi times the radius of 4 times the slant height of 5.7 plus pi times 4 squared. Close that up. Now I've been working this out separately, but I'll just, since I've been also doing this all at one time on the calculator, let's go ahead and do that on this one too. All right, so clear this out, parenthesis, pi times 4 times 5.7, close that parenthesis up, plus, parenthesis, pi times 4 squared, 4 to the second power, close that parenthesis up. All right, so we got this right here. Do that, do this, bring it down just below it. And this is in inches, so we'll have inches squared as our answer. 121.89, the 9 tells us 8 to round up, so it'll be 121.9, and it was in inches, so it'll be inches squared is the surface area of this pyramid. All right, so there's the exercises for this one. All you have left after this is the skills practice and practice. Give those a shot. Try them out, see how you do, show them to Mr. Harmless when you're done. He'll check them, see if you're doing them correctly, and then you'll be able to move on to the next lesson.